God damn it. Welcome. Chat, emergency meeting. Quick, everyone assemble. Everyone assemble. Don't die. Okay, I won't die. I'll try not to die. Or I'll try to quickly look at the ban list before we die. Either this or that. Either way, as you might be able to tell, I am pretty sick right now, but Konami does not care. The ban list is out. So we're gonna be looking at it real quick, talking about what happened, and then yeah, I mean, I'm just excited that we finally have it. So let's take a look at it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not in the best. Yeah, it is what it is. Here we are. Waver, thank you for the 16 months. Appreciate that. Sleeve Chief, thank you for the gift sub. Appreciate you as well. Yeah. So yeah, as you guys can hear, I'm not the fittest right now, but yeah, let's go. So I tried to let me see if it's, yeah. I tried to open it up on the Konami website, but that's not loading for me. Maybe it's because too many people are accessing it right now. So I literally can't go on the official website to do the scroll down thingy. Or is this the right? Oh, this one works. Okay, this one works. Okay, thank you, X Crazy. Yeah. All right, let's scroll down and see what happened. I already saw some of the stuff. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not gonna. There's not gonna be a hype reaction or anything like that. I'm not feeling that way this time around. But let's go. There you go. Kashtira Arise-Heart is banned. This one I already saw because it was on the front page of the Twitter post. So yeah, Kashtira Arise-Heart is banned, which is exactly where it should be. Oh shit, there's ads. Oh, my bad. Oh yeah, okay, let's god damn it. It's all scuffed. It's all scuffed. Let me quickly wait for the ads to finish. Is there ads? Or not? Jojo Check, thank you for the 11 months. Appreciate you, and thank you. Yeah, no, Arise-Heart is banned. Rip bozos in chat. This opens up the door for so many decks again, I think. It's very, very cool to be able to play certain strategies again. The only thing that's kind of sad is that this might be the end of Book of Moon as a staple, Book of Eclipse as a staple, but we'll see. We will see. Insert creative name, thank you for the 7 months. And Hibai Naori, thank you for the gift sub. Razor, thank you for the 3. Appreciate all of you guys. Thank you. No, I said this before, because people people are spamming Tearlament's strongest in chat right now. I do think that gives Tearlament's a little window to maybe be played again. We'll see. We'll see what else happened. But yeah. Okay, so but the only thing I knew beforehand was that Arise-Heart was banned because I saw it on the front thing of the Twitter post, and that nothing else is banned, right? So that's it. So, but everything else I don't know yet. So let's see. Bestial Magnamute Limited. Okay, that's expected, but very good change, I think. This is I mean, Bestial Magnamute is by far the best Bestial, and Bestials are really, really powerful. Another win for the Tearlament Andes, by the way. Another win for the Tearlament Andes in this one. Only Magnamute though, no Lubellion, no Druisworm, so still more Bestials for us than in the OCG. This is good, right? This is good. I think one Magnamute still makes any sort of Dragon Link deck definitely playable. Any sort of and you can still side deck Bestials as an engine. You can still go 1 Magnamute, 3 Druisworm or something. That's completely reasonable. I like this. I think this is good. I think 1 Magnamute is a phenomenal hit because like the Dragon or the Bestial focus decks, they still have access to it, right? They still have access to it with Lubellion. You can still summon it with Seals, so you can still get it into rotation if you're playing a Dragon deck. You're just not going to open it as often, which is when it's really unfair, right? So. Yeah, no, 1 Magnamute, big fan of this hit. What else is there? Chaos Space. Okay. No, we've talked about this. We've talked about this on stream, that it's like really weird to address Dragon Link right? It's really hard to hit Dragon Link in a way where it really matters, but it also makes, like, you know, you don't want to completely kill Dragon Link. At least I don't think they want to, and I don't think they should. But how do you just make Dragon Link a little bit weaker? This could be one of those. I mean, I don't hate it. I think it's a really good card. Would I have done it this way? I'm not sure. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's a bad hit. I'm not sure if it's the best they could have done, right? But I mean, look, in my banlist discussion, we talked about banning Striker Dragon, and I'm sure that every Dragon duelist, every Dragon Link player would rather play with one Chaos Space than with no Striker Dragon, right? So in that case, I think you guys are fine, right? The Dragon players. I think Dragon is still okay with one Chaos Space, one Magnamut. It just is significantly weaker, which I think is what should have happened. I think this is fine. I think it's okay. Like, you know, you can still play dragons, but slightly different. I think it's alright. I have no problem with that. Is there other limit? There's no other limits. Okay. No semi-limits. Good. We're free! God damn it. I choked on Gazelle. God damn it. 3 Gazelle. Hello. No Gazelle. No Arise-Heart and 3 Gazelles. Holy shit. Hell yeah. And Herald of Orange Light, but who cares about Herald of Orange Light? Who cares about Herald of Orange Light? Let's be real here. Salamangreat Gazelle is a big deal. Let's go. Holy shit. Okay. And that's already it. There is 5 changes. Arise-Heart banned, Magnamut limited, Chaos Space limited, and then unlimit of Herald of Orange Light and Gazelle. I can already tell that a lot of you guys are going to be a lot of people are going to be unhappy with this because they think it's too small, right? People just tend to like big ban lists more than small ban lists. But I will say, I think this is fine. I like this. I'm a fan of this. I'll tell you why I'm okay with this. It's not perfect. I want to preface that by saying it's not a perfect ban list. Absolutely not. There is cards that are missing from this that I would have liked to see, and I'll tell you which ones in a bit. But right off the bat, I want to say, I think that the current format is fine, and that the only deck right now that I'm really sick of and tired of was Kashtira. Like, that the only thing I didn't want to play against anymore was really Kashtira. Like, out of all the decks. Like, everything else was fine, it's okay, and therefore, I really like that they are doing a small ban list, just like, okay, Arise-Heart gone, everything else only small hits, right? My biggest gripe with this ban list, let's get it out of the way, is that they once again decided not to hit any floodgates, right? No anti-spell, no debarrier, no shifter. Those were cards that I really would have liked to see. Prosperity is another one that I really wanted to be on it, but I don't think Prosperity is ruining the game like these other cards can sometimes do. So, you know, I can live with 3 Prosperity. I would have preferred not to live with 3 anti-spell, 3 debarrier, 3 shifter, eradicator, whatever. But the floodgates are missing. The floodgates are missing. Besides that, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. They did not hit Runics at all, which is, Runics, honestly, haven't we suffered enough? Haven't we suffered enough, chat? 2 fountains? 2 fountains! God damn it. 2! We can only play 2 fountains! Okay, all jokes aside. I think the reason they didn't hit Runic is that Runic currently is not really doing anything, right? Runic is currently not very much existent in the current format. Like, maybe it's going to come back with this list. Yeah, I mean, let's talk about what are the big winners of this ban list. I mean, the obvious one is Salamangreat is a big winner with this ban list. I'm not sure if it's good enough, honestly. I've played Salamangreat at locals. The deck was very fun, but I'm not sure if it's good enough. However, the one thing I did say after playing locals with it was that two things need to happen for Salad to be maybe a contender, and that was Noah Arise-Heart and Gazelle to 3. Both of those things happened, so I'm looking forward to trying it out at least. Tearlaments, I think, can be a meta contender again because Arise-Heart was just like choking that deck out way too hard. And also Magnamoot going to 1 is good for Tearlaments because like now less people are gonna side deck massive amounts of Bestials, and even the Bestial decks are gonna have less Bestials, so that's good. Branded didn't get hit at all, but Branded still has the good old problems. Branded still has the good old same problems, so I'm not sure if Branded can really be considered a huge winner of this ban list. Unchained, of course. Unchained is going to be a phenomenal deck moving forward. Purely untouched. Yeah, I mean, pretty much the only deck that really got shafted was Kashtira, and then Dragon Link got like a little drive-by hit. Everything else is still full power. I like it. Let this format play out. But without Arise-Heart, right? It's kind of a dream scenario, you know. Just like play the current format, but no Arise-Heart, right? There's been so many occasions in the last couple of weeks where I was sitting there and I was thinking, like, hey, how good would this format be if we just didn't have to worry about Arise-Heart? And now that's what we get. Plus, we get 3 Gazelle. I'm happy. The floodgates are missing. I'm not sugarcoating it. The floodgates should have been on here. Calamity, the Manadium turn skip synchro combo thingy, that should have been on here. Yeah, I agree with you. 100%. That should have been on here. But these decks are not as oppressive as Kashtira was. So I'll take it. Yeah. Sick. I like it. You know what the biggest deal? Oh, let me check if I see this correctly, Dortmund is the first big event. That's what I'm trying to check. Is this... oh, yes, it is. Okay, this is before Dortmund. That's huge. Okay, Dortmund, first event with this ban list. Oh, I'm so hyped for that. Oh, I love when that happens. I love when you get a big ban list and then you have a big event right after. I think that's hype. Like, some people might think that's like it's very stressful with little time to prepare, but I think it's freaking hype, man. I think it's really, really hype to get a fresh format. The most oppressive deck out of the format is gone, and now everyone can just do what they want basically for YCS Dortmund. Oh, I love that. Slayer, thank you for the tier 1, and Mario, thank you for the 5 months. Yes, of course, you can. God damn it. Why did they have to do it today? I mean, there's not that many changes. I don't know what else to say. I just went live. We've not even been live for 20 minutes, and I mean, we're done with the list. I don't know, like, The decks I really want to try with this list are Salamangreat first and foremost. I'm excited to still look at, I think Unchained and Pearly are still really strong decks. And Tearlaments is something that I think has a chance to be back in the metagame. Aura Guardian Lucario, thank you for the 11 months. Like the list, but I always wish it was more interesting, chaotic. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not a bad list, but people just always like the bigger ban lists more, right? The ones that change so much is something that people just love, right? And I also love it, right? I love it when a lot of things change, but sometimes you also gotta appreciate what you have, right? And we do have a pretty healthy format overall right now before this ban list, and so just minor adjustments and recognizing that it is a good format and just doing minor adjustments, I think is a fine thing, right? I think that's good, especially because now we can stop asking. Like, now we can start testing for tournaments. We can start, you can start picking up cards that you want. You don't have to worry, like, oh, is there going to be a huge ban list just like in 2 weeks right after I pick up a new deck? It's like, no, they've just basically stated with this ban list that, like, okay, the current format we think is fine. we're just gonna get rid of Kashtira, do some minor tweaks, and now you can all go and play whatever you want out of the current decks, right? And I like that. I think that's good. Yeah. I'm pretty hype about this, honestly. That's pretty cool. Are you gonna talk about the new spoilers that got announced today? Is that like new cards or whatever? Like we can. I don't plan on, as you can probably tell from my voice. I don't think it's a good idea for me to stream very long today. But if there's a batch of new cards that's exciting, we can quickly talk about it. But let me finish some of my thoughts about this ban list. Another interesting thing about this ban list is that it didn't touch, like, it not only did not touch any of the floodgates, which is a bad thing, but it also did not touch cards like Prosperity, Fenrir, and arguably the triple tactics cards. Those were like cards that were, I feel like, could have potentially been on there, right? Like Fenrir, I'm a fan of the fact that they didn't hit Fenrir. You guys know I like Fenrir as a card. I don't actually have a problem with Fenrir. I thought it was only too powerful in Kashtira. I think in other decks it's okay. I think Prosperity should have been on here, personally. I don't hate Prosperity, but I think it's way too powerful. So I do think it should have been on here. I can live with 3 Prosperity. It's not like one of those cards that ruins my day or anything, but I would have preferred if it was gone. Yeah. And then the triple tactics cards, I think is arguable. I think it's similar to Prosperity. Sometimes I wish there was less of those, but sometimes I'm just okay with it. Yeah, I don't think it ruins the game that the triple tactic cards are here. I think it's okay. Yeah. Diablosis can come back. I guess it could. You're probably right, but on the other hand, I don't think the card is very interesting. I don't think the card is very. I don't think the card provides anything for the game, right? I think it's okay. Droplet is playable. Oh yeah, a Arise-Heart ban has so many implications. Like, you can play graveyard focused decks again without having to worry. Like, one of the big, like, yes, there were outs to Arise-Heart, so you could still play something like Tearlament or Salamangreat or Dragon Link, right? Like, all those decks, right? You could all play those decks in this format and just throw in a couple books, but it would definitely hurt your win rate because you can't always have an out to Arise-Heart, right? The fact that Arise-Heart is now gone makes it so you can play those decks again and you don't have to worry about having an out for that one floodgate monster, right? You can just play a normal deck again. So decks like Dark World as well, like Dark World, Tearlament, Salamangreat, Dragon Link, all these kind of graveyard focused decks, and also cards, you know, Ultimate Slayer, Forbidden Droplet, those kind of cards that would just be unplayable against Arise-Heart now go back into the metagame, right? So I do think we're gonna see if the meta is ready for it. Like, if it's a good card in the meta, we're gonna see Droplet again. We're gonna see Ultimate Slayer maybe pop up, right? It's very exciting. Even like that, and that's why I like this ban list. It's very small changes, very few changes, but the implications are huge. Like, it opens up a whole new world of possibilities in terms of different tech cards and different like deck options, even like not even just individual tech cards, but also just the deck choice in general. And that might also mix up like the other decks, right? Maybe Unchained was only such a good deck because all the cards that people played or the decks that people played because of Kashtira in the format happened to be a good matchup for Unchained, right? Like, for example, Unchained didn't really care about Droll. Unchained was also okay against like the books, right? That everyone played. And I think that was a big advantage for Unchained, right? And now Kashtira is gone, so people are going to stop playing the Kashtira counters, and maybe that means the matchups for Unchained are going to really change, right? Maybe Unchained is not going to have that good of a matchup spread against the decks that pop up right now, right? So I think that's overall very, very interesting, and I'm a big fan of a list like this one that accomplishes a lot with very little input, right? Very little input, but very, very large effect, I think. So that is interesting. To come to a close here, I'm a big fan of this list. The floodgates are missing. The floodgates are missing, and that is, I think that is a very valid critique point. If not banned, I would have at least liked to see them limit or semi-limit some of the floodgates that have ruined so many games this format. Especially, like, I just think it's so obvious when you look back at, like, YCS coverage that we've watched on stream, and it's like how often, like, cards like Anti-Spell were flipped and they would just end the game immediately, or cards like Shifter were discarded. Like, countless occasions where we would see that on stream and it would just ruin the entire game pretty much. I think should have been enough to put those cards on here, right? And like the biggest offenders by far right now, Shifter, Anti-Spell, De-Barrier, and Eradicator. Those cards I would have liked to see somewhere, you know, here. So that's a minus, but still overall, I think this is a very good list. I'm a fan of it. I'm looking forward to YCS Dortmund a lot more now. And yeah, it's exciting. It's an exciting time ahead of us, and we're gonna see how this format shapes out. We're probably gonna make a tier list early next week, right? I'm excited for that. I'm excited to think about the position for different decks in this upcoming format, and then we're gonna see how it all plays out at YCS Dortmund, and then Age of Overlord is also just like, what is it, 5 weeks away, 6 weeks away? So we're gonna get another shake up to the meta in just like 5 or 6 weeks, so don't forget that as well. So yeah, I'm excited. Runic decks, I guess let's leave it on a runic note. Runic decks could be back, but I think runic decks really depend on the other decks that are being played in the meta, right? It's like it's really gonna depend on, you know, what are people playing with this list, and is runic good against that? But in theory, yes, you could still play Runic at full power, right? But I heard that Runic is like not that great against like Unchained, maybe. I'm not sure if that's true. I haven't tried it myself. It could be. Like, I can imagine, for example, the DDD Caesar thingy is really annoying if you don't open Flashing Fire or Freezing Curses, because it stops you from summoning Hugin basically forever. So yeah. But we'll see. We'll see how Runic matches up against the top decks in this format. But it potentially is back. Yes. All right. If you're seeing this on YouTube, I hope you enjoyed the initial Banlist reaction. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and make sure to check out the Twitch link for the. We're gonna make tier lists for this new format in this upcoming week. So don't forget to, you know, check it out. And yeah, until then, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye. All right. All right, chat. How are we feeling about this list? Out of 10. Out of 10. Give me a number. Give me a number. All right, I'm seeing all kinds of numbers right now, which I think that's about right. I honestly think Konami releasing a list and making everyone happy is never gonna happen. Literally never gonna happen. I personally think this is between 7 and 8. I'm happy with it. I am happy with it. Probably closer to an 8. Instead of focusing on what's missing on it, I like to focus on what we have, which is we finally have confirmation that this is the list for the next couple of weeks for YCS Dortmund. That alone is already worth a lot to me, right? The fact that I know what to prepare for is hype. Gazelle to 3 is a huge win for me. Arise-Heart ban is massive. So, you know, I think it's a solid 8. It's a solid 8. I like to focus on the things that we have rather than the things that are missing on it. But yeah, I like it. And I think you guys are underestimating. I think you guys are underestimating a little bit how exciting this will be, right? People are like, you have few changes, so it's not an impactful list. I don't think you guys realize how massive of an impact Kashtira Arise-Heart had on the format. Like, that card had the entire format in a death grip, dude. Like, it was crazy. So I think that's the main takeaway here, is that, like, give it some time. But a lot of decks are gonna get a lot of viability back because Arise-Heart is not here. So, alright. Tearlament's strongest? You think so, huh? You think so, Quan? You think Tearlament's is strongest, huh? All right. As my voice is starting to fade, let's quickly look at these new cards that you guys were so hyped about. Let's see. Okay. Let your soul burn in the fire flood of Infernoid support. Huh? Okay. I've never been a big Infernoid fan, by the way. I know a lot of people loved Infernoid back in the day. I don't mind them, but I've never been a huge Infernoid kind of guy, you know? I am thankful for them giving me a win at a YCS finals, because Infernoid was... I don't think it was that great in that format, but that's about it. Infernoid Evil. Level 1 Fire Fiend Fusion Effect Monster. Materials, 2 Infernoid monsters. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. If this card is fusion summoned, you can banish an Infernoid monster from your graveyard. Send Infernoid monsters with different names from each other from your deck to the graveyard equal to the banished monster's level. If this card is sent to the grave or banished, you can add a void spell or trap from the deck to your hand. Oh, this card is powerful. This card is powerful. That's crazy. You banish one of the big dudes, you can send your entire deck to the graveyard. That card is custom. It is an instant fusion target, yeah. And then if it's sent to the graveyard, you can even add a void spell trap. You could even abuse this with something like Nadir Servant or something like that, right? No, this card is great. Also, you could even play, like, you could actually play, like, Infernoids do have their fusion spell, right? With the one that works like Shaddoll Fusion when your opponent has an extra deck monster. Nadir has no good oh, right, no. Nadir Servant needs to add a monster with less attack, right? No, you're right. I don't think Nadir Servant works. I don't think Nadir Servant works, but Instant Fusion works. Extra Foolish Burial could work. This card is very, very strong. Okay. Nice. Good. Good card. Infernoid Flood. Link 4, okay. Materials, 2+ monsters, including an Infernoid monster. Okay, this one is tough right off the bat, because I'm not sure Infernoid is really a Link spam deck. I'm not sure if they can get there, but we'll see. Let's finish. You can only use first, second, and third effect once per turn. If your opponent would special summon a monster, quick effect, you contribute a monster. Negate the summon if you do banish those monsters. Okay, a little Thunder King effect on it. Nice. If a card is banished from your graveyard, you can banish a card on the field. Okay, a little Changying flavor added into it. If this link summoned card in its owner's control is destroyed by your opponent, you can special summon an Infernoid monster from your deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. Okay, hard to get rid of. This is not a bad card. However, I don't know how we get to Link 4 in Infernoids. I'm not quite sure about that. Like, if there's a way to summon this, it's good, like, easily, but it seems like a lot of work. Like, I'm not going to freaking go through all the work of summoning out, like, 4 Infernoid monsters to go into this thing. I don't think that's the way to do it. I'm not sure. Muckraker does not work, because Muckraker you can't use as link material, so... As far as I'm aware, I don't think there's an easy way for Infernoids to summon this, but maybe that's a good thing, right? Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever thought about the fact that a Link 4 monster should require 4 monsters? Some food for thought. Alright. Void Blaze Up. Okay. Normal spell. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per duel. Okay. Reveal an Infernoid monster or a void spell trap in your hand. Discard your entire hand, then draw the same number of cards you discarded. Okay, this is a card destruction, which is, I mean, I guess it's good in Infernoids, but I'm not sure if that's... Okay. If you control no monsters or all monsters you control are fiend monsters and this card is in your graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, you can banish it, then target up to 11 of your banished Infernoble monsters with different names, return them to the graveyard. Okay. I mean, it's a very, very powerful effect for follow-up. But I'm not sure. I don't even remember, honestly, I don't remember Infernoid decks even using card destruction. Right? I don't remember them even using card destruction. I'm not sure if that's good enough. I'm not sure if it's good enough because on the first turn, this can be very strong, but it can also be kind of mid. And then on the second, then you get insane follow up on the second turn. But I'm not sure. I would argue. I would argue that if Infernoid ever gets to a point where they have 11 Infernoids banished or like a bunch of Infernoids banished, the deck is already in a winning position, right? I think the problem with Infernoids was always getting to that position, right? And so I'm not sure. This card can help you get going, right? Because you discard and draw more cards. Like it could be a starter card because you discard a bunch of Infernoids. Not sure. I am not sure. But it's not terrible. All right. Final Barrier of Purgatory, Void Barrier. Continuous spell. You can only use the second effect once per turn. Infernoid monsters you control gain 100 attack for each of your banished Infernoid monsters. If you control no monsters or all monsters you control are fiends, you can activate one of these effects. Add a banished Infernoid to your hand. Special summon an Infernoid from your hand, ignoring its summoning condition. That's also not a consistency card, or like it's an extender / follow up. It's not a bad card, but I don't think this one is what Infernoid needed either. But it's a good card. I could see them playing like one if it's easily searchable. If it's easily searchable, you could maybe play one because it can be a starter, right? You can get out an Infernoid from your hand, ignoring its summoning conditions. That's good. And then it provides follow-up later if your opponent can't deal with it. I think it's alright. It's an alright card. But the highlight, definitely the fusion monster, right? The link monster, hard to summon, but decent. This one, kind of wacky, could be okay. This one is solid, but doesn't really solve the problems of Infernoids. And the first one is a pretty custom card, I would say. That one's pretty good. Now the Ice Barrier stuff. Oh, there's more? Oh, Ice Barrier support. Oh, yes. Give me Trishula, Gungnir, and Brionac retrains. How about that? Oh, that already looks sick. Okay. Lancia, Dragonic Ancestor of the Ice Spirit Mountain. Wait, this does not have Ice Barrier in its name. Level 10 Water Dragon Synchro Effect monster. Water Tuner plus non-tuner monsters. Only use the first effect twice per turn. Once per chain, if your opponent special summons a monster, you can special summon an Ice Barrier monster from hand, deck, extra deck, or graveyard. Then you can change an opponent's attack position monster to defense position. Okay, I have a... this is a special summon. This is not a synchro summon. This does not trigger something like Trishula, right? This does not trigger those, right? You can't. No, right? And then my other problem with this is I don't know what the main deck monsters for Ice Barriers really do. Keep reading? I will keep reading, don't worry, but I'm trying to evaluate this effect. I did not plan to stop after this. I'm going to keep reading. They are floodgates? All of them are floodgates. All of them are floodgates. God damn it. Of course they are. Okay. If this face-up synchro summon card in its owner's control leaves the field by your opponent, you can special summon an Ice Barrier synchro monster from your extra. This is treated as a synchro summon. Ah. Okay. So if your opponent gets rid of this, he's getting trished. I think you guys are overrating this card a little bit. Like, I don't think it's a bad card, but look, in order to get Ice Barrier monsters from your hand, deck, or graveyard, you have to play Ice Barrier monsters. And those are some of the worst cards ever printed. Like, Ice Barrier cards are so bad. Like, come on. I don't want to put Ice Barrier cards in my deck. Oh, what did I do? The second effect is good, but that's your opponent leads to trigger it, right? And that's very hard for you to force, right? It's like, I don't know. I mean, look, this is a level 10 synchro, so you're competing with Baron the Fleur. You're competing with Sword Soul Chengying. You're like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Yes, in a pure Ice Barrier deck, this card is sick. But do I want to play a pure Ice Barrier deck because of this card? Probably not still, unless the next cards are busted. Am I going to play this in another deck? Because it's like, you can even... Isn't the Sword Soul token water? You could even play this in Sword Soul, right? But am I going to do that over Baron or Chengying or the evil Long Yuan? I don't think so. Like, I think I'd always make one of those three before I make this. Right? So I think this card is not as broke. The artwork is insane. I wish it was better than this, honestly, but I don't think it's that great. Like, it reads very strong, but then you realize it's an Ice Barrier support card. And I don't think that's where it's at. But okay. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the next couple Ice Barrier cards are just insane and we play pure Ice Barriers in a year. Georgios, Swordman of the Ice Barrier, level 6 tuner. First and second effect once per turn. If you control an Ice Barrier, you just special summon it from your hand. Okay, not bad. Michi for President and Infernity and Rico. Thank you guys for the subs. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. If it's normal or special, you can special summon a level 5 or lower Ice Barrier from hand or grave. Monsters in your opponent's graveyard cannot activate their effects while you control another ice. Okay. This summons itself from the hand, summons a monster from hand or graveyard, and is a floodgate. This dude is kind of busted. I don't like him. I don't like him. Why does he do all that? Why does he do all that? And it's a tuner. Alright. That card's good. Mirror Magic Master of the Ice Barrier. Level 2 tuner. You can only use the first and second effect each once per turn. You contribute one other effect monster. Special summon up to 3 Ice Barrier tokens. Level 1. If you do, increase this card's level by the number summoned. And you're locked into water synchros. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add one of your Ice Barrier cards that's banished or in your deck to your hand. Except Mirror Magic Master of the Ice Barrier. Okay, so if I tribute a monster, I get 3 tokens. This thing goes up to level 5. It's an instant level 8 synchro. It doesn't quite get to Trishula. It doesn't quite get to... It also doesn't get to this dude. It's not a bad card though, because if it's sent to the graveyard, you get to add any Ice Barrier card from hand, from deck or banished to your hand. This is it's also a good card. Like this is honestly also an insane card. But I will say, I'm not sure if 2 custom main deck monsters are enough to make me want to play Ice Barriers. Right? I would have to go back and check the old Ice Barrier cards if there's like useful ones from back in the day. I'm not sure, not certain on that. I think most of them are pretty bad, but it definitely takes more than these 2 cards is what I'm trying to say. Both of those cards are really strong, but it takes more than that. And then we have Frozen Domains leading to the Ice Barrier. The second effect is once per turn. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to the activation of your Ice Barrier monsters. Okay, so you trish them in peace. That's nice. If a monster is special summoned from the extra deck, you can return an Ice Barrier monster you control to the hand or deck. Then you can place a card on the field or in the graveyard on bottom of the deck. Okay, that is non-targeting placed to the bottom of the deck. That's powerful removal. Once per turn, during your end phase, reveal 3 Ice Barriers with different names in your extra deck or destroy this card. Okay. Not a bad card, but like all... I mean, it's a trap card. It's a trap card, so... There's that. If you can maybe set it up for free, maybe you play it. I don't think you would play it if you can't like search it easily or something like that. I don't think you're just going to try to hope to draw this card because you don't want to put multiple of this card in your deck in case you ever go second. So Yeah. Honestly, these are good new cards. These are good new cards. However, I think the problem here is that most of the old cards are going to be bad. But it's something that I'll probably revisit that. I'll probably revisit that on a stream next week. We could probably look at some of the old Ice Barrier cards and see if there's something here. But for now, let's leave it at these cards are alright. These cards are very good, but overall, I'm not sure if that makes Ice Barrier good enough. The answer is probably no. The answer is probably no, because there's a lot of archetypes out there that have recently received legacy support that was absolutely custom, right? Like absolutely custom legacy support, but the archetypes were just too old and too bad, right? I'm thinking of stuff like Crystal Beast, stuff like that, right? Where like TGs as well. Like there's so many archetypes from like 10 plus years ago, and they get good support, but it just takes more than just that to make me play cards from 10 years ago that even were bad 10 years ago, right? Like literally, I don't think an Ice Barrier card was ever good outside of the Synchro monsters. Like, I don't remember ever playing or seeing a single main deck Ice Barrier monster because of how bad they were. Naturia? I mean, Naturia plays none of the old Naturias. Literally only Sunflower. Everything else is from today. Outside of, obviously, the Synchro monsters. Like, because for Naturia, it was the same thing. The only good Naturia cards were the Synchro monsters. So when they made support for it, they basically just made new cards, and you only played the new cards pretty much, with very, very few exceptions. Yeah, okay, Sacred Tree, that's it. But like, the point still stands. There's like 90% of old Naturia cards are all terrible, and almost all of the Naturia cards you play are the new ones. And there is not enough here to make a deck without the old cards. Like, you can't make an Ice Barrier deck with just Georgios and Mirror Magic Master. It doesn't work. Right? So that's that. Whew. All right, exciting day, dude. Exciting day. All right, chat. I'm already feeling a little bit dizzy from talking so much, unironically. We're gonna call it a day there. I just couldn't resist. I couldn't resist to go live a little bit. I was supposed to be in case anyone is here that is going to the card market grading event this weekend, because there is one in Lager, Germany. Card market grading is hosting an event where you have like different TCG tournaments and stuff like that. They invited me to come over, and I was supposed to be there, but I had to cancel on them because look, I can't. Like, I'm gonna make everyone sick in that venue if I go. So I had to cancel. So in case any of you are going there, I'm sorry that I won't be there. I guess I hope the event is still gonna be nice for everybody. And and thank you all for watching today. The very short notice emergency meeting. It was fun. It was an exciting day, nonetheless. Yeah, thank you for everyone for watching. I guess I'll just send all of you rascals to the Farfa subathon. And yeah, I'll see you hopefully. I assume that if I rest the next 2 days, I'll probably be okay to go live on Monday, probably. So I hope to see all of you guys on Monday. And yeah, I hope you have an enjoyable weekend. Hope you're all doing a little bit better than I am. And yeah, see you guys on Monday. And yeah, don't worry if you missed the Banlist reaction. It's going to be up on YouTube hopefully today, right? Hopefully it's going to be up today. And yeah, I'll see you guys. I'll hopefully see you guys on Monday. No promise. I'll see how I'm doing, but probably on Monday. All right. Bye-bye, everybody. Peace. Thank you for watching.